Hi, I'm Andy Crozier from Insight Photography. Thank you so much for requesting my brochure and congratulations on your engagement. I've put this movie together so that you can find out more about the Insight experience directly from couples that I've worked with in the past. I really hope that you like the movie and I look forward to meeting you soon to find out more about your plans. Thanks very much.
We lived 5 doors away from each other.
Yeah, I lived at top of the street.
So it's kind of a girl next door situation.
I was 16 when we first got together. We met a couple of years prior to that through some friends.
We were on holiday in Cyprus.
We'd set the table and lots of romantic flowers and music and things, and cooked me a lovely meal. We all dressed up as if we were going out for the night.
Steve wanted to go down to the front where the beach was to take a photo, and it was really windy. I was getting blown away and we were stood there for ages.
We went down to London to go see Phantom of the Opera. It had a lot of meaning to me to go see that, and Sean saw it as a good opportunity to get down on one knee outside theatre.
Halfway through the meal he proposed, so I was on the phone with my friends and family telling them, and
Tears.
I cried, and he said, "Will you marry me?" I said, "Of course I will, you daft sod." That was my answer. He was like, "Is that a yes?" I said yes.
It was a bit blustery, wasn't it?
It was just a little bit. I'd just done my hair, I was hungry, and I'm thinking, God, what's he doing?
I did it on the ferry in the middle of the ocean. So.
On the microphone.
On the microphone.
On the stage.
And then I can remember it was on some rocks.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really realised that Emma was standing a little bit
Above, yeah.
above me, so that when I went down on one
He
knee,
was like down there.
I was practically looking at her shins. So that didn't quite work very well either.
But no, it was lovely.
We was always going to have a photographer.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was a good job we did have one. I was one of them who would take it or leave it. I wasn't really that bothered.
Yeah.
But you really pushed for it, didn't you?
Yeah, because I just wanted to make sure we captured the memories that we wanted to. You know, you only really do it once. That's your plan. So
I wanted a photographer because that's the main bit why you remember your day from years to come.
We said from the beginning, didn't we, that we kind of wished that we had a friend that was a photographer. And then as soon as we met Andy, I mean, we both came out, didn't we, and kind of said to each other, I know we've got one more person to see, but I want him.
Yeah.
I'm quite shy, really, when it comes to having my photo taken and being in front of a camera, so I was kind of a bit apprehensive and worried about it. Andy was he made me feel real relaxed, and I felt really comfortable with him.
Well, I think it was rather than you thinking, oh, it's like a business, you felt more personal, didn't you? It was as if you'd known him for ages when you'd spoken to him.
We were looking for somebody who obviously we felt comfortable with. You want them to have a little bit of character as well, and a little bit something about them. And as soon as we met Andy, we knew that he would kind of bring the vibe that we wanted.
I mean, we'd only met him a couple of times, hadn't we, before the wedding, but it did turn out to be like your friend photographing you, didn't it?
We went for a meeting, didn't we?
Yeah.
At Country Park. And Andy said, how far have you got with your plans?
With your organising.
With your organisation. We ain't got anywhere.
That was it. That was his moment to shine, and he had us organised by the time we'd finished in there.
Yeah. We weren't sure about timings and was trying to pick up off other people's weddings. But then as soon as we sat down within the half hour, he'd had all the timings sorted, and that was it, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a weight off our shoulders just to know that the day was kind of planned.
We sort of just forgot about that then, didn't we?
Yeah.
You just put you at ease, didn't you, really? And when we had our pre-shoot, we were both really nervous about that to begin with, but within a few minutes of starting it, he made the mood so light that you forgot what you were doing.
You can just relax and enjoy yourself, and he then just captures the moment as he did on our wedding day.
You didn't even know he was there, did you? Really?
It got me used to what it would be like having somebody there with a camera if you're not really used to it. Settled my nerves a little bit, so yeah, that was really good.
He'd rang us in the morning and he said, it's raining, do you want to call it off for another day? We said no, because if it's raining on the wedding we can't call it off, so we went ahead anyway, wandering down the front of the foreshore in the rain.
It's not every day you stand next to somebody in a wedding dress, is it? Especially as husband and wife. It's just coaching techniques, and it's subtly how he does it.
Yeah, all about the long slender arms and where to put his foot under my dress.
And another thing what he does offer as well is when we actually did the pre-shoot, he took some of the, one of the images became on a board, and rather than having a guest book, everybody just signed it, and it was like on an easel.
And that's also in our house as well, isn't it?
Look at that every day, really.
Yeah.
Sit at the dining room table.
All the messages that people write and everything for you.
We said we didn't want the photographer or the photography side of the wedding to be like a burden, something that you're going to have to carry around all day and that's a bit of an inconvenience, and he was totally the opposite.
Yeah.
I came to mine in the morning, got a photo of me shoving a croissant in my face. But yeah, it was great. It just eases the atmosphere. I mean, I wasn't particularly nervous on the morning anyway. It was kind of a fun atmosphere going on in my house anyway, but it just adds something, doesn't it, to the fun. Yeah, it does. It just comes in and lightens the moment, doesn't it?
I thought, oh my word, it's going to be so stressful. And it just wasn't, and it just all flowed. And I didn't really feel like Andy was there, to be honest.
Andy just captured some great shots of us having a laugh because I got stuck in my dress and couldn't get it over my head, and I had all my bridesmaids and everything trying to find my way through my dress for me. And why Andy was just kept clicking away and you didn't even know. And then you look back at it and you just remember all that funny time that we had trying to get me in my dress. And then when my dad came in to see me, he was already there to get my dad's response and seeing the photograph, because you don't actually remember that on the day. It was just like you didn't see my dad's expression and reaction to me, and being able to look back at the photograph, it was like you just saw how proud he was actually that day. And we then both just had a bit of a cry and things afterwards. It's like you don't remember that on the day, so it's nice to look back at that.
As soon as Andy left, I started stressing again. Because I was like, oh, my organiser's gone now.
He was just brilliant. He was helping us out with the, what do you call them?
He helped do with our thingers. What are they called?
I help the guys get ready in the morning. I make sure their buttonholes are on straight. Help them with their cravats. You know, most guys don't have an idea of how to do these things, but you know, I go to plenty of weddings, so I help and make sure they look sharp all day.
Andy said to us to create a list of what group shots we wanted, so that on the day he could just get on with it, and we knew that all the photographs that we wanted were going to be catered for.
Just people by name, so people aren't thinking, oh, does that mean me, or am I involved in that bit of family or not? Everybody knew if they needed to be in, they was in.
There was one or two that we'd actually forgotten to put on the list. So Andy, we sort of said to Andy, oh, can we get these like people in with us now? And he did adapt very well.
As the day went on, we could like hear people saying, oh, that photographer's really good, and you know, he's really nice. Your dad
nice.
took to him, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I loved him to pieces, my dad.
Yeah, you know, he just had a really good rapport with everybody, and he didn't make people stand around for ages. You know, he said, right, this is what we're going to do. You can be back in there having your drinks quick as anything.
Yeah, he didn't drag it out. It sort of got done in like stages rather than one long period of time. No one was away for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I remember I'd been to a wedding once and the couple went off to somewhere else, and there was gone nearly 2 hours, and you can imagine people are waiting for the food. Nobody knew what was going on as well. I think that was the worst thing, whereas Andy told people, I'm going to steal them for 10 minutes, and it literally was. It was 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. With ourselves, it was like it done one set of photos and then we'd go back and see everyone and mix, which was quite nice because we'd only just got married and everyone wanted it. Everyone wants a piece of that, so it was quite nice, wasn't it?
I work quickly. I keep the energy level high so that brides and grooms aren't feeling like they're performing for me.
And it kind of gives you a moment just to take a step back from the day and think about what's happened and how you feel, because you don't really get to spend that much time together, really.
They actually appreciate the time away from their friends and family at that point, to actually have the penny drop for them that, wow, we've just got married, this is it, we've done it, you know, and hence why I call those sessions the penny drop session.
The staff at the actual venue and Andy like tying together behind the scenes, and you don't really see what was going on.
It was like he really cared about how the day went.
Do you know what I mean? It was our day and we didn't really need to get involved. We just went with the flow. It's like the wedding organiser and the photography on the same day.
When things maybe get a little bit confusing in the sense of the day, like what we're meant to be doing now is there just to sort it out for you. if you need him, and you can literally ask him to do anything, can't you?
I was outside a bit nervous before and I said, I don't think I can remember the dance, I can't do it. He was like, you can, let me go and get you a drink. Came and sat outside with me for a bit. He was like, you'll be fine. He was like, should we get on with it now rather than waiting? I think you need to get it done. I was like, yeah, so do I. But the shots he got from that first dance was something, again, we'll remember forever.
I'd said, hadn't I, we'd looked through Andy's previous portfolios and there was one of somebody's dad, and I just said to you, oh, I really hope he catches my dad looking like that on the day, and there is one in there.
But everyone after the wedding couldn't speak highly enough of him.
He got a lot of compliments afterwards, didn't he? It was one of the things that people said, your photographer was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get another photographer that'll lay on the floor and take an automatic door shutting on his head for the ideal shot.
But it
which is
wasn't
what Andy
until he
did.
got the picture, so it was quite
Just-
funny really,
Yeah,
wasn't it? But
we were stood there posing, he was just laid on the floor getting his shot, and then we saw these doors just shut on his head. I could redo the wedding over and over again. I just loved every bit of it.
I generally shoot maybe 2,500 frames at an average wedding, and we'll show between 550 and 600. So we're working hard to create the selection, perfect those images, and then create a movie for couples to come and see once they're back from their honeymoon.
The photos that Andy did for us to choose were just excellent, really. I don't think there was one bad photo.
We'll then order a proof book, which is a hardbound annual, and all of the images sit in that book, 6 images to a page. Couples will then choose their favourite images from that book, which we'll then go ahead and start to work on and create an album.
And then he sent it away to print and came back and was over the moon with the actual album itself. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
I actually said for the first time, oh, I really like that photo of myself. I've never said that. I've never said that about a photo. I was like, oh no. I don't like doing things like that. But when I saw the photographs, I was like, oh, that's a really nice photo.
There is some absolutely fantastic pictures they actually captured on the day.
The range of photos that we had to choose from were just brilliant, really. When we did our album, we managed to put just like a story together of the day, didn't we? And it just kind of flowed through.
The process of designing the album is a real collaboration between myself, my designer, and the couple. We'll work the layout to a point where we feel that it looks really great, and then we'll send that to the couple as a PDF over the internet, and we'll get their feedback. You know, do you love it? Great, let's get it into print. Do you love it, but there are some things you want to change? Absolutely no problem. We'll do those amendments quickly, get them back to the client, and wait for approval.
Everyone that's looked at them said, I don't know how you chose out of all those pictures, because there were just so many good ones.
People have said it's just an outstanding album. They just can't believe the quality of it, can they?
There was one in particular, isn't it? It's like the signature one of our wedding, and we actually got it blown up on a quite a decent sized canvas now, and it hangs above our fireplace in our house.
We went for the digital package, which basically gave us copyright of all of the photos.
It gave us more control where we could choose what we wanted to do with the pictures, didn't it, really?
We decided that because we liked Andy, we'd stretch our budget and not have an album, but we'd said to him, can we get an album in the future off you, as and when we want one? And he said, yeah, that's fine. So we just did it like this for now, because obviously you're paying out for everything at the same time. So that's how we did it, and that's what he said. He said, I keep everybody's images, so if and when you want one, I'll make you one.
It's not one of the things that you look at every day as your wedding album, but when you do look at it, you're still wowed, and you're like, yeah.
And you show it to people as well, and they can't believe the quality of it, and the front cover alone just wows everybody, doesn't it? And they say it's really heavy, but it's really well made, and just the quality of the images and the story it tells.
Every time that we look at it, we just open it and we're both, he just wows you every time.
For me, it's a very proud moment to hand over something that we've worked really hard on together, to bring together and then hand over a finished piece. And the wow factor really is there. And for me to see my client's face as it lights up as they open up the book for the first time, is really, really satisfying.
It's one of the only things that you do have with you for the rest of the life of your wedding day, and I think you want that memory to be good and the service to be good, and you definitely got that with Andy.
It's just got that really unique balance, hasn't it, of being your best friend, but then just amazingly professional photographer.
It's a special day, and you plan to do it once, so you want to make everything right, and he was definitely the right choice.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You can't help but have just a bit of a giggle with him. He's a real nice bloke.
And like I say, we're still in touch with him now, aren't we? So.
Yeah, it's quite good, isn't it? So we're still doing the following on Facebook and that as well, aren't we? So.